Hey everyone, I'm James, this is Shane, we're with Warhorse Training Company. Today we have a very special video for you. We are going to be shooting mocked up interior drywall. Quick disclaimer, this is not one stud every 8 inches, it's one stud every 10. That's just due to limitations of material. So the purpose of this video is mostly educational. We want people to see what happens when they fire off a round inside their home. You know, whether you're law enforcement, military, or just everyday civilian, you kind of want to know what that round's going to do. So what we've done is we've got this wall right here. We've got a target behind it just to catch anything that comes out. And then we've got a back wall. We're trying to mock up roughly the size of a room. Now Shane over here, he's going to walk us through what we're going to be shooting.
How's it going, guys? So we're going to be using some of the most common rounds that people use. We're using 9mm, 5.56, and 12 gauge. All right. Other than that, we're using some less common rounds like 7.62 by 39 and 40 Smith & Wesson. We'll also be using different types of rounds. So there's ball ammo as well as hollow points and self-defense ammo.
All right, well, Shane, let's get shooting.
Yep. We're gonna be starting with 115 grain, 9mm ball.
All right, so Shane put 2 rounds on target, both 9mm ball right here. And if you come around, you can see where I actually blow out the back. Hit the target stand, and then continue to travel. Now, if you notice, the rounds did something different. That's because they both entered a different medium, which had different effects on what the round was going to do. All right, Shane, you ready for a hollow point?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
124, critical duty, 9mm.
All right, so let's see what it did. All right, so 2 rounds, entrance right here. If we come around back, you can take a look at their exits. Popped out. Hit the target, and then continued to travel through this wall and out the back again. All right, and there we go.
We have 124 spear gold dot.
All right, so let's take a look at the 124 spear gold dot. See entry point here. We're going to come around. And exit point over here, it does look a little bit less kind of straight through than the full metal jacket, but not by much. Entry point here, and then rounds pass through the last wall here and here. All right, let's do the last rounds.
And we have Spear's new 147 grain.
All right, so let's take a look at the 147 spear. Let the rounds impacted here. Come around, take a look at where they exited. These 2 spots right here. Pass through the target. And pass through the second wall as well. All right there. And came around back. Just a great reminder that these walls do not actually provide cover as much as just concealment. All right, so that concludes the pistol rounds. Shane, what you think?
So obviously this is not covered. This is definitely more just concealment. You find yourself in an apartment, you know, cheap building, most places where people find themselves, especially in the city. You find yourself behind a wall, it's not going to protect you completely. This is very important, especially for law enforcement, for people who find themselves in more dangerous areas. We're using ball ammo, target ammo, we're using self-defense ammo, duty ammo, and as you can see, they all completely pass through. And we come to the other side.
Yep. Now, one of the things to note is when the ball rounds actually hit a completely different medium, passing through these wooden target stakes, that threw their trajectory off a whole lot. Flatten them out, send them off more towards the center. So
obviously, the walls, as passing through, it's not a person, so it's not exactly the same. When it hits a person, it's supposed to spread out and slow down. It's still going to hit you regardless if you're at this drywall, all right? It's not exact, but it's very close.
All right, let's start the rifle. First rounds are going to be 5.56 by 4.5, 55 grain, green tip ball.
So we got our 5.56 green tip 55 grain impacts right here. 3 shots, 1, 2, 3. We come around the other side, you'll notice, right? Those exit holes are a lot bigger. All right, still about the same distance away. When we hit the target, that's where it gets a little different, all right? And you see they're starting to keyhole, they're starting to tumble right sideways. As we come through that target, kind of hard to figure out where they go. Close inspection, we have one go in, right? And the other come around the side and just tumble outward the other one going in the dirt. So unexpectedly, right, the rounds are tumbling through. Still pass through. It's very adamant that they're very unpredictable.
All right, next round is going to be 5.56 by 4.5, 55 grain frangible ammo.
So we got the 55 grain frangible, 3 shots, right? Come around the other side. We got 3 exits. As you can see, they differ extremely. All right, we got a smaller wound with the green tip, and then with the frangible, a lot bigger hole, right? But they're not tumbling as much, okay? And we come through, actually, one broke apart. 2 pieces. Let's say you come over here, you get your shots, 1, 2, 3, 4. But here, I believe we're from the same one because they both pass through, coming out the side. But then we come to the other side, is where it's a big difference, all right? Got this big exit hole, all right? If there was more stuff in this wall, let's say some insulation, some wires, maybe would have stopped it a little better. But regardless, it's drywall.
All right, now we're gonna shoot some standard 5.56, 55 grain ball.
All right, so we got regular 55 grain ball ammo. We got our 3 shots here as well. Got 1, 2, 3. On pass through, coming out, looking close to the green tip. On impact, it's a lot different though. Less tumbling as it comes into the target, obviously. And we come down to here, 1, 2, 3 as well. Straight in, straight out.
Now we're gonna shoot some 77 grain bonded core 5.56.
77 grain bonded core, 3 impacts right here. Coming around the other side. Exit's looking close to the same, a little bit bigger, but that could be because of the other rounds that are close to it, right? Impact wise, still looking like a straight trajectory. And we're coming through, it did deviate a little bit. We only have 1 solid impact here, but as you can see on this side, it came straight through the tail all the way out. All right.
And the final round, 85 grain 223 Varmint Express.
We got our Varmint Express ammo right here, pretty common hunting round. We got 1, 2, 3 hits right here. Come around the other side. A little bit of a big exit wound. Coming down here, missed by a little bit. Came through here, hit some of the wood. As we come down, it hits down here. Same exit points. To the back. So it kind of went straight down almost. All right. All right, so we just got done with our AR-15 rounds, or 5.56 2.3. And as you can see, everything that went in is coming through the back. All right. We got all our impacts right here. Come around the other side, we see some deviation. There's some bigger exit holes, especially with the frangible ammo, maybe some of the Varmint Express. But as they're all coming through, as they are slightly deviating, they're still hitting the target. They're still coming down. A bit of the same as the pistol. But as we go farther, you know, it's just make it more clear, right? This is not going to be safe if you're standing right behind it.
Yeah, we definitely had some surprises with that, especially when the green tip decided to keyhole going through the target. But for right now, let's go into the shotgun.
Got 12 gauge target loads right here.
All right, 12 gauge target load. As you can tell, most of the pellets actually concentrated right here. Punched itself all the way through from outside, but you can still see that pellets start to spread. Now, you also see this is where most of the pellets were grouped. However, once you get to this final piece of drywall, on some of them, you can actually see where the pellets have stuck in at the front. When you get to the back, you'll see that this final layer of drywall stopped the pellets, even though you can see them trying to peek through right there. All right, this next round, 12 gauge double-aught buck.
All right, as you can see, double-aught buck, you can tell right away where it's hit. All right, a lot different from target loads. Got all our impacts in here. Coming out the other side, stays pretty consistent. All right, we got a big hole here. We got big holes in the people right behind it. And as we come to the wall, same deal. All right, obviously it spread a lot more. Okay, but come to the other side, we got exit holes. All right, a lot different from target loads and double-aught buck. All right, 12 gauge, 1-ounce slug.
Now, it should be pretty obvious where the slug went. Punched all the way clean through this, clean through the target behind it, and clean through the wall behind that.
Coming close here, you can actually see right through. That trajectory did not change at all. Look through all the way to the back, the last hole.
So that being said, you're gonna miss. Shotguns are probably not the best choice. Even with this target load right here, that punched through, and let's say you have kids in the room behind it, or neighbor, you're in an apartment complex, that still round's going through drywall.
All right, so we got some 40 Smith & Wesson. We got ball ammo, hollow points, and also some critical duty, all right? All 180 grain.
So the 40s passed all the way through on target. Punched out pretty hard on one of the hollow points over here. Kept going. And finally impacted this back wall and punched through as well. So far, all pistol ammo is punched through completely. All right, next round.
God's Caliber 45 ACP.
All right, so we got our 45 ACP shots right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here. Coming through, right? Clean exit holes coming out. A lot bigger, a lot more tumbling going on, there's more mass. And we got some impacts right here. We got 1, 2, 3 here. The rest look like they veered off the edge, all right? On the back, you kind of see these exit holes. They're pretty big on here. Biggest one's hitting the stud, still coming out the side. Pretty minimal.
All right, 7.62 by 3.9. Both are 123 grain. The only difference is steel lacquer coated, standard FMJ.
All right, so the 7.62, obviously, got some impacts right here, coming through, just like the rest, actually a little bit cleaner, coming out right here, hitting the target, and coming all the way back into the back wall. The difference is, the exit holes in the second wall, they're a lot bigger. You can tell there's a lot more tumbling going on, a lot more slowing down. But either way, it still went through.
Yep.
All right, James.
All right, so what we've learned is that drywall is by no means a form of cover. It is concealment and use mask movement. But every round passed through that first wall of drywall. Every round then passed through the target behind. And then most rounds, aside from the target load from the 12 gauge, passed through the second set of drywall.
Yeah, as we come into it, you know, we're using varying ammo. So when you're hitting a soft target, a real person, obviously you're gonna slow it down a lot more. But for the most part, bullets are still coming through. All right, it's not gonna protect you, okay? You wanna get behind something hard. But for the most part, you gotta be very wary of what's going on. You're going to a house, let's say cops coming in, guy might shoot through the wall, come straight through, hit you right in your plate or wherever you're getting hit. So be very careful, train accordingly. Let's see this wall go down.